Okay, everybody. Today I want to do a update on my garlic. As you can see here, this is where I planted the majority of my garlic. These are hardneck garlic. And the way you plant garlic is you plant them 6 inches deep, about 6 inches apart, more or less. You plant them in the fall. I plant them in November or October. You always plant your biggest cloves. You always eat your smallest cloves. You plant them 6 inches deep and about 6 inches spaced across, more or less. At this stage, you don't have to do much. Eventually, they'll send out a flower spike, and it'll produce seed bulbils through sexual reproduction. The seed could be used to create new children, offsprings, potentially with mixing varieties. If you continuously plant the bulb, the biggest bulbs from each clove, if you continuously plant the biggest cloves from each bulb, you'll have a consistent harvest of large bulbs, and you'll select for that trait. The bulbs are created through cloning. So they're not sexually reproduced. They're reproduced clonally. So you're basically, each one of these is the same garlic because they're all cloned. They share the same DNA. They're all clones of each other. It's not done through sexual reproduction, through seeds. Instead, it's being done through dividing in the root, and the root dividing causing a difference in the bulbs. Each clove yields one more plant, just like these. And each one of these 1 cloves that I planted will end up with a bulb of 4 to 8 cloves inside this bulb. In addition, if you plant the bulbils, the sexual reproduction, the seeds from the top on the top of the flower, then you can quickly multiply the amount of garlics you're growing in your yard. What do garlic like for location? They like full sun. They really like sun a lot. They don't mind being planted with other things. You can plant them near trees. Nothing really eats them. They don't really have any pests. You're not going to see birds or deer or squirrels eating your garlic. They're pretty consistent to grow. You'll get a consistent yield. You'll know what you're planting and what you're getting. So let's say if you plant 100 of your largest cloves, you'll end up with 100 garlic plants that will yield you between 4 and 8 garlic cloves. So if you plant 100 garlic cloves, you'll end up with between 400 and 800 cloves that next year. And depending on how fast your family eats garlic, you can figure out how much garlic you need to plant. For me, I haven't found the point where we make enough, because we constantly eat all of what we need before it's ready, or we use it when we're preserving or producing hot sauces and stuff. So I have been planting about half of my garlic. I've been picking at least half or more of the garlics to replant, because I'm really trying to have exponential growth as far as my seed stock. So eventually there'll be a time when I have enough, that I'll have enough for everything I could possibly think of in the kitchen, but also I'll have enough to maybe potentially start giving away or selling my garlic. I'm not at that point yet, but I would love to be at that point someday when I have enough garlic to basically sell it. So thanks for watching this video. I hope this was informative, and I will definitely have an update explaining to exactly what the next steps are. Essentially, after the flower spike happens, you're going to have these leaves start to, you're gonna want to cut this flower spike off, unless you're trying to grow for bulbils, and in which case you're gonna want to leave like three flower stalks. Leave 3 of your garlics with bulbils, or 3 of them to produce bulbils on those flower stalks, and then cut all of the rest of the garlic stalks, or the flower stalks off all the garlics, and put them in freezer bags and freeze them. They're a delicious treat. In the middle of winter, you can add it to any stir fry or any soup, and you can get a really nice garlicky flavor added to the soup or dish. So that's what you do with the flowers. And then, like I was saying, these, when you know it's time to harvest, these leaves here, let me use this as a specimen. This leaf here will start to go yellow, and then this one will start to go yellow, because these are its leaves. If you cut these off, it's gone. It's going to be a smaller root. You do not want these leaves to get cut. Don't try pruning these leaves. Leave them alone. Okay. But anyways, you can see one of them's already died back due to frost. So I've kind of lost that one. I'm assuming it'll be able to grow another layer, but yeah, this layer will come off. This layer will come off. But by the time this plant is an adult, it's going to have about 9 of these leaves, and you're not going to pick it until you have 5 leaves left. So if it still has 6 healthy leaves, you don't pick it. If it still has 7 healthy leaves, you don't pick it. Once it gets down to 5 healthy leaves, and the rest, the other 4 or more, have turned brown and withered away, or turned brown and fallen, that's when you harvest. So you harvest when there's 5 leaves left. This only has 5 leaves, so you wouldn't harvest this yet. You would wait for it to grow its 9 leaves, grow its flower stalk, cut its flower stalk, then it's going to drop its 4 leaves, and then you're going to pick it when it has 5 healthy leaves still. And then you're going to hang it to dry, and you're going to keep it out of the rain, and it's going to be delicious. And you're going to plant your biggest bulbs the next year, and you're going to plant more and more each year, because every time you plant it, you get more. It's a cycle that will repeat forever and ever. You don't have to buy garlic ever again. I don't have to buy garlic ever again. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's too fun.